And we're back for another episode. In this episode we're going to be doing the level 70 Blacksmith quest. And as always, hello from Mithrie. Hello. So we are here at the Blacksmith Guild in the upper decks of Limbs de la Minza at 1014. And we need to talk to Guildmaster Breffiel. So the quest is called the Final Face-Off. It says, Master Breffiel has dark circles under his eyes. We'll get one of each of the grade 5 crafting materia and stroke of genius. It says may increase maximum CP on the second step of synthesis, increase guaranteed when a specialist. So in the case of Blacksmith, it'll be guaranteed because I'm a specialist on this one. So kept you waiting, have I? Apologies. It seems I had myself one too many pints of ale last night. Don't worry, that's not going to keep me from travelling with you to the Far East. After all, Sekka and her father still owe us a few trade secrets, and I too see they uphold to their end of the bargain. I can't shake the feeling that unless she wins, they'll try and weasel their way out of it. Well, I suppose that's just a bridge we'll have to cross when we come to it. For now, let's focus on making it to Kugane in time for the match. It's going to be a lot harder than it sounds. Me head's pounding and me stomach's churning. I don't think I've ever been so uninfused by the idea of leaving Eorzea for distant lands. I'm going to have to take a moment to recuperate, lass. So you go on ahead of me. I won't be too long, you have me word. Okay, so he gets anxious when he travels, man of my own heart. But to be honest, like God, I wish there was aetheryte crystals in real life. If I could, for example, in the morning just teleport to work, it would, you know, life would be sweet, you know? Okay, so we have to go this way, so let's do it. Whee! Okay, so let us do this. Where are we going? Ah, there she is, our lady. So welcome to Kugane, Mithrie. We received notice earlier that Forge Master Breffiel left shortly after you. I imagine he should be joining us soon. I feel like a totally different person to when I was last here, where before I would buckle under the pressure of my father's unwavering gaze. Lately I have not felt phased by it in the slightest. Oh, my apologies, I got off track again. Speaking of my father, he has asked that you meet him at Kokajia, where craftsmen from the poorest to the finest gather in Kugane. There he will apprise you of the details of our upcoming match. I shall remain here to collect Forge Master Breffiel. Okay. So we need to go to there, so we need to go to Pier 1. So let's go there. I do like Blacksmith. It is a fun class. To be honest, I like all the classes. There isn't really any one I think the only one that's even slightly annoying is Culinarian, but that's only because of the amount of ingredients you need for each craft. And but obviously they've balanced that with the fact that Culinarian gives you the most useful abilities. Okay, let's talk to him. So, Mithrie, you have come. Very good. Now, without further ado, allow me to explain what it is I would have you do. You and Sekka are to each forward a Uchigatana. These blades are to be shown to one of the greatest samurai families in Kugane. Their lord is interested in having my forge provide his retainers with katana. Before he officially entrusts me with the task, however, he asks that I provide him with a sample. The two of you will be competing to see which of your Uchigatana I would present before him. Oh, and one last thing, my daughter. She mentioned to me earlier that in exchange for studying at your guild, she promised to share with Master Breffiel the techniques we employ here at my forge. Her skills have grown exponentially under your care, and I have every intention of upholding that agreement. But should you give any less than your best in the contest, and I know full well what you're capable of, consider our deal broken. If you have any questions, now would be the time to speak up. No? Excellent. In that case, I suggest you go and join Sekka at Pier 2. Your guildmaster will be arriving shortly. Okay. So let's go to Pier 2. Okay. Pier 2. This one? I hope that's the right one. I mean, it's not just called Pier 2. I should have realised that the Aephorite was right next to her. So, sorry Mithrie, do you have a moment? There is something I want to ask you before your guildmaster arrives. You see, every time Forge Master Britfield comes near, my heart feels like it will explode and stop beating at the same time. Sometimes it's so painful I can scarcely breathe. Is she in love with him or what? So at first I saw him as a dull and uninspired man, but then, when he so courageously defended my dreams and refused to back down, even in the face of my father's fury, I realized I had misjudged him. In that moment, something inside me shifted. Now, I cannot get his face out of my head, and I feel an inexplicable urge to be near him. I just do not understand. You supported me in my journey just the same, so why is it I do not feel this way about you? Because you're in love with him? In love? Which for Master Britfield? That is absurd. The only love I hold is for the art of swordsmithing. There is no room for anything or anyone else in my life. Ack, but what am I doing? Now is not the time for me to be asking silly questions. I need to prepare for what is arguably the most important moment in my career. Perhaps once this competition is over, we can revisit this conversation. Okay, revisit it, eh? So what's this? My own personal welcoming committee come to escort me ashore? What's wrong, lass? You're red as a beet. What are you talking about? My face is not red. Even if it is only because I am so excited about my victory which looms on the horizon. Alright then. Lol. So, you will see, I'm going to win. I have come a long way from when I first started. My travels to Eorzea, my studies at your guild, and the new tools the two of you have made for me. They relit a fire in my soul. They reminded me of how much I love making katana. This competition is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me to seize my destiny. I will prove to my father that I am worthy of studying under him. Bye. So that girl is filled with an unrelenting passion for her craft, and she'll make a formidable opponent in the upcoming match. Has Shinto divulged any of the details to you yet? Yeah, we win or we die. An Uchi katana to be presented to one of the samurai families. It goes without saying that the first thing they'll be looking at is the sharpness of the blade. You'll also want a simple but elegant design for the hilt. But you already knew that, didn't you? I always forget you've outgrown me advice. Now, I've brought with me all the materials you might need. Here. Once you're done, take the Uchi katana to the girl's father. Good luck, Mithrie, and remember, if you need anything, I'll be here. Okie dokie. So, let's synthesize. Let me spell it right. Uchi. Uchi. Examination Uchi katana. So, synthesize. And go. I will put in the description a link to my crafting document, which also includes this macro that I'm using right now. This macro relies on manipulation and prudent touch. So you can see my quality is increasing, but my CP is actually only going up. And my durability is not going down at all. That's sort of the power of using manipulation 2 combined with prudent touch. See, we're already at 100% and we haven't even finished yet. So, usually this would then go on to finishing off by using Bygot's Blessing. So you see, There was another 8,600 quality on top of the quality we've already gained. Done. Right. So now let's go to Pier 2. Or Pier 1. Sorry, my bad. This is Pier 2. Okay. So you have finished your Uchi Katana. Yep, let's hand it over. It says, a katana forged as your final test and to be delivered as a prominent noble house. So, very good. Sekiro is still working on hers, so I shall hold off on all critiques until she presents me with her blade. So, Mithrie, this is beautiful. The radiance of this blade alone might be enough to repel the tides of chaos. In addition to that, it's so sharp it would cleave even a fine thread of hair in half. The sheath and the hilt have been done to perfection. This blade is fit to be worn at the hip of a great samurai. No pressure. I hate you, daughter. And besides this brilliant Uchi Katana is... What is this, Seika? It seems that you have decided not to take this competition seriously. To the contrary, I expended every last ounce of my skill and strength to create this. Please see for yourself. Take it into your hand and test it out. So, by the Kami, Seika, explain yourself. Okay. We were asked to make weapons for retainers, but not all of them can use weapons. Heavier blades may cut better, but they are useless in the hands of the untrained. These lighter substitutes, however, can be handled by even the clumsiest of servants. Even so, the reduced weight has come at the expense of the blade's overall quality. While you are not wrong in assuming that a great majority of the Lord's vassals are not adept at using katana, you were asked to forge a sample sword intended for one of his samurai. It does not take an expert to see that Mithrie's blade is far superior to yours, not only in utility but also aesthetically. This is what I will be presenting to the samurai house. So, I will say, however, that taking the client's needs and physical limitations into consideration is a necessary part of our craft. Next time, be sure to consult me before jumping to your own conclusions. Next time, so that means... where before you were pounding your hammer in a single-minded desperation to gain my favor, now you are no longer blind. You have shown extraordinary process as a swordsmith, and I believe you are finally ready to begin your studies under me. So, did you hear that, lass? Sounds to me your dreams are about to become a reality. Indeed, and I owe that in large part to you. Thank you, Forge Master Breathiel. Without your guidance, I would not have been able to make it this far. You have been a great inspiration to me in more ways than you can imagine. So I spent this entire time trying to convince myself this strange pressure I feel in my chest was due to the competition. Now that I have accepted as my father's apprentice, however, I cannot deny it any longer. Forge Master Brithiel, I think I am in love with you. Aw, it's so cute. Pardon me. Lol. Awkward. Lol. So, Master Brithiel, what exactly is the meaning of this? I thought my daughter was accepted into your guild that you might exchange blacksmithing techniques, not vows. Lol. Is Mithrie's blade going to cut it in half? So, my apologies, but something rather pressing just came up, and it requires my immediate attention. Mithrie, I'll see you back at the guild. Bye! That's actually hilarious. I had not realized he was so shy. It almost makes him even more endearing. Okay, so let's talk to Shinto. So congratulations, Mithrie, you have won the challenge. It seems there is a great deal we can learn from you and your guild. That reminds me, while Seika herself is still not in a place to take on such responsibility, I have every intention of seeing that our end of the agreement she has struck is upheld. We look forward to exchanging smithing techniques with your forge. My father is right. For now, I must focus solely upon improving my skills. The Uchigatana I made for this competition was meant to be forged in the likeliness of the lightweight swords, short swords manufactured at your guild. It, however, turned out far inferior. I shall train unrelentingly. Perhaps one day when I refine my skills to a point where I am worthy of being called a master swordsmith, I can then take on this duty and thus reignite the romantic spark between me and Forge Master Brithiel. In the meantime, I shall keep my feelings for him sealed tightly away. I only hope that as the days and months go by that he will not forget my love. Thank you for everything, Mithrie. You are a wonderful person and an even better blacksmith. I won't be forgetting you anytime soon. Yes, it is as my daughter says, you have won our respect and our gratitude. Had it not been for you, Seika would have not grown as she has. That said, I suppose this is where we part ways. I am sure that Lesha of a Forge Master is anxious to have you back. Okay, so we have to go all the way back to Limsa Laminsa, so let's go. I really have to sort my bag space out. Got 8 retainers and I'm struggling even with them. Okay, A for net. Let's go. Let's just go to the outcast and run from there. I think that's the closest place. Okay, let's go. The paladin trying to show off for a lady. Okay, so almost there. Ironically, the armorer quest is right where we were. So my apologies for having to leave you so abruptly back there, but on the look of the old man's face, I reckoned I'd overstayed me welcome. That's why you could imagine me surprised when Randwolf walked in with a letter from the very same man. While the whole thing was, of course, peppered with subtle threats, he seemed to be just as enthusiastic about the idea of trading smithing techniques with our guild as I am. Sir, I just received another missive for you. Says here it's from Seika. I'm not sure what it's for, but it must be important. It's nearly the size of a length of New Eorzean Geographic. . And there I thought I once retired from sailing the seas, I'd be able to live out the rest of my days in peace. Cool. So, does that mean he's going to have to go to Kagane very often to see her? Anyway, let's complete. So, in forging new paths into Far Eastern swordsmithing, you have learnt Stroke of Genius. Cool. So, anyway guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie. Bye guys.